How could we be at the early stages of a bull market? Because that's exactly what Ed Yardeni is telling us. We're early, and the bulls are going to have a really big test because we just fell back into fear. And this is because Indian stocks have their worst day in 4 years, and Mexican stocks are tumbling after elections. What we really want to be mindful of is the notes that we talked about this morning, and we will come back to talk about those in a moment. But what I'm really trying to get at here is that if we're truly going into the early stages of a bull market, well, we're going to run a test here. We're going to find out whether or not people can shake off this bad news, or if when in doubt, you go buy American. Why? Because America's the best, baby. Whoop. So that's what I want to go through today. If we look at the no group, hey, the big guys are doing fine, which means the S&P closed out flat. Let's tune into a video here from Ed Yardeni. Let's see what he has to say about us being early into the bull market.
So you still see a long way to go with this bull market?
I do. I think it's actually fairly early on. It's some people are talking about it being mid-cycle, a bull market, or getting near the end of the story. But I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to continue to see surprisingly strong productivity. We're not seeing that obviously in the first quarter numbers, but last year we had very strong productivity, and I think that's going to continue into this year and beyond.
Okay, so that's all I want to go through that short little clip, because what he's really talking about is that we're going to see productivity gains. And that's what I want to go through today. So as we go forward here, I want to play another clip in a moment. But what I'm really talking about is whether or not we can actually go to a higher high this month, because on the 1995 template on the left, after we go to new all-time highs or number 4, we can't really afford to look back. We have to go up, up more, up even more, and then up even more. So what's going to be so critical here is whether or not we're actually going to go into the next bull market. And just as we're going through this video here, we're about to crack 30,000 subscribers. So if you don't mind, please considering to smash that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm very confident we're going to be there by tomorrow. Thank you ahead of time. So AMD announced something that I missed, at least at first glance yesterday. And that's that they launched a new chip. So what does this really mean? Hey, Ed Yardeni talked about productivity gains. So now that AMD is getting into the race, intensifying competition with NVIDIA, and we also see that Intel sets up AI games with Lunar Lake, blah, blah, blah. Hey, the race is on. It looks like there's going to be more than one competitor. Now let's tune into one more clip here, because I want to remind you of where we were roughly a year ago, right? This was what AI was generating for video. Look at me. I'm Will Smith. I look totally real. Oh, wait, he doesn't. And if we look forward here to these videos coming out, these are from Sora, which is ChatGPT. Hey, these look a lot more realistic, right? Look at these things. They don't look perfect, but man, what an improvement a year can do. What I want to show you next is actually just a clip that actually could pass off for something that was shot maybe 100 years ago. This is AI generated, and it's like a Western. If this was the intro of a movie, you would say, wow, this actually looks like it's from the 1900s, 1920s. So I think that where we were a year ago to where generated content can be for short format like this, now roughly a year later, to hey, where were we 100 years ago? Well, man, technology advances fast. And with all this new competition, it's really exciting. What I want to remind you of too is that if we're early into the bull market, man, we're due for some nice data tomorrow. What do we do for? Well, we're going to get a Bank of Canada rate cut. That's what we're expecting. Jolt's jobs openings came in soft. ISM came in soft. And GDP's coming in soft. We got a revision, I think it was yesterday, back down here to 1.8 for the second quarter. So now we're down to 1.8. Remember, this was way wrong last quarter. We're actually at 1.3, not 2.7. And now this got revised from 3.2 down to 1.8. Man, it looks like we need to start loosening up monetary policy. All right, Canada, you go first. And then we got the ECB going next. And there's some doubts on that right now, right? There's some articles talking about that. So 1, 2, let's get it under our belt. And then we got payroll Friday. This is where things can get a little bit chunky. Why? Well, average hourly earnings are going up. Again, if we come in as forecasted, more people are going to gain jobs, bad, and then unemployment staying flat. So the Fed would actually like it this ticked up to 4 if that was staying at 0.2. But we don't live in a perfect world, which means we got to deal with the hand we're dealt. But as we look forward to the rest of the month, after we get through Friday, well, then we got the big dog, WWDC. We got Apple. This is supposed to be a huge overhaul. So the reason why this is critical is because when we look at Apple, it actually looks really good. This morning, we went through a buy pocket on the stream for Apple at 182 to 185, which would basically mean if we slam down here to roughly where our 200 DMA and 50 DMA are, we should get a golden cross, and we should slam back down to that pocket and those averages. If we look here to the monthly chart, it also, annual chart, it also corresponds with the 2021 and 2022 highs. So Apple's like kind of ready to go. And if you look at the price action lately, what has it done? Higher highs, higher lows, and this is a huge stock. So if it's going to pick up the baton from NVIDIA and drag the S&P kicking and screaming higher, well, that should be happening like soon, right? Boomtown should be right around the corner. Remember, how are we going to go up by hundreds of percent if Apple is not joining the party like it kind of has to? Look, we go up, up more, up even more, and then up even more. Again, he's also saying that there's years ahead of this. He's looking for 6,500 into the end of next year, I believe, or 2025, 5 or 6. I can't remember. It's pretty bullish. So how are we going to get there? Well, we got to start building up momentum. So we have to start seeing more progress. Man, I'm pretty impressed. I'm not going to lie. Is everything from NVIDIA going to turn out tomorrow? I doubt it. But from here to here, man, good. And Jensen's like a pretty good executor, right? Chief Executive Officer. Look at this. Looks pretty real, right? Yes, it does. All right. So that's pretty much it. We know what we're looking for. We're looking for, again, an annual green light. We want to get a monthly green light by getting back above 448 for the NASDAQ and getting above 534 for the S&P. All right, now let's look at those charts. So this is something I'm trying that's new. Drop me a comment and tell me what you think. What we were looking for here, and let's actually go to the NASDAQ first because this one is just a little bit easier to go through. So we bounced off the previous all-time high yesterday. So look at this. Yesterday, we bounced off the previous all-time high at 448, and that's the 448.64. That's yesterday. Okay. And then we get a fail breakdown. That's on Friday. Okay. And then yesterday, we got another hammer, right? Close over the previous candle high. That's an expansion signal. What were we looking for today? Do we maintain the higher low pattern? Yes, we do. Do we maintain the higher high? Nope. Double top to the set. 455.58. So we halted the rally at least there. This is where the note from this morning was handy. Can we close back over the previous candle high? That part we weren't able to. So what are we looking for tomorrow? Inside bar break, bull or bear? Again, on interest rate decision, I would expect that's going to be higher. We've now bounced off the previous all-time high with nice lower tails and volume. That should mean it's time to go up. If we now pop over here to the S&P, this is the only other chart we're going to look at. Why? Because it's the most important one. There we go. Let's just get our notes back here. There we go. So, oops, why is this moving around so much? Anyways, there we go. So what did we have on Friday? Let me see if I can actually get this a little bit closer because I want to actually show the candle here. Sorry for having to do this on the fly, but here we go. Hopefully you can see it. Let's go to full candles to make it a little bit easier. So on the 31st, which is this candle right here on Friday, what do we have? Bullish engulfing candle. What word is in there? Bullish. All right. Talking about a bull market. We got a bullish engulfing candle. Cool. What's the next thing? Volume usually precedes price. Okay. So look at that nice volume down there, right? Look at that stud. Nice big green fat bar. And then we got lower wicks. That signals dip buying here. Okay. So lower tails, no upper wick. Yes. What happened today, though? Well, same thing as a NASDAQ. No inside bar break. So we have a lower high. We have a higher low, but it is a hollow candle. That's why I like looking at hollow. It means that there's an expansion. That's it for today's video. So you can either smash a thumbs up, you can subscribe on the right, or come hang out with me at 9:15 and 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, where I'll go through more chart review. Thanks so much.